can know my secret.
In season 5, we're talking a lot about what was Oliver like in season 1. As we remember from the pilot, he was a killer. He came back. He was very much suffering from what had happened in the previous 5 years on the island. And he was really grappling with the moral dilemma of whether or not he really could be a judge, jury, and executioner. And he was also dealing with the legacy left by his father, his goal being to try to right those wrongs that Robert Queen had committed in Starling City.
I'm not the man you think I am! I didn't build our city! I failed it! And I wasn't the only one!
What we're really trying to do is close that chapter, close that 5-season story, and have Oliver be reflecting from the vantage point now, having done and been a vigilante, what kind of legacy is he going to be leaving now?
I, Oliver Queen, do solemnly swear to support the charter and laws of Star City.
Like, he's not a very good mayor. He just sort of uses it as a way to get intel they can use as Green Arrow. But as we'll come to see, that there's other things he can do as the mayor that he can't do as Green Arrow.
Laurel's death was a reminder that this is a lifestyle where people can die, and he is older now, he's a little bit wiser, and he's thinking in a long-term sort of way, is this really the best way to get justice for my city?
I have a promise to keep.
Diggle probably has the biggest change, where he's decided to re-enlist in the military, and we're going to spend some time with him actually out there on his own in the military, away from his family, away from his child. But it's all about him overcoming his grief over killing Andy, and sort of him feeling like he deserves to be sort of on the outs and doesn't deserve the happiness he should have.
You told me either I'm willing to do whatever is necessary, or I shouldn't be up there at all.
Which is exactly why I can't be.
Thea is one who, she sort of saw this darkness in herself. She held an arrow to Damien Dark's daughter's neck. You know, she's become this horrible person in her mind, so she wants something more normal. So she'll be part of the Meryl storyline and sort of build a life for herself that's not in the costume.
Come on, we can't just lose all hope here.
You have?
And then the question everyone's been waiting for, Olicity. Where are they? What are they doing? We left them in a really ambiguous place at the end of season 4, and I will just tell you, they are going to be in a very ambiguous place, similarly to where we left them.
You have been waiting for things to go back to the way things were. They're not.
Direct hit on Haven Rock. Maximum yield.
How many casualties?
You know, last season we went really big.
Tens of thousands.
As everyone sort of knows who saw it, it was a pretty high casualty count by the end of 423.
We have a character named Ragman, named Roy Regan, who's going to be one of the recruits on the team, and we're going to come to discover that he was in Haven Rock, and he was the lone survivor, basically because he has mystical powers, the rags that sort of allow him to do the fancy things he can do.
And Felicity is aware that even though she did the best that she could under those circumstances, she still made the decision to pull the trigger and drop that bomb.
He'll come back to Star City looking for who caused that.
Felicity thinks that it's time we put together a new team.
Rick Gonzalez has been cast as Wild Dog.
I came here to work with the guy who killed Damien Dark.
He just brings completely different energy and excitement to the role.
It says here his name is Rene Ramirez.
Yeah, but Wild Dog is much scarier.
Wild Dog is very, as his name would suggest, very opinionated and very sort of off the leash in what he wants to do and thinks he knows best and is the first one to do things even though that might not be the right decision.
I'm gonna teach you a few things.
I'll play.
Evelyn we saw last year. We introduced her in episode 419.
Evelyn Sharp. Boy, I had this so wrong.
She has come back and joined the team really as a way to honor her own family and her own legacy, with her parents having been killed by Damien Dark. And she's the greenest of the fighters. Well, she's maybe a little bit better than Curtis, who is the greenest, I think, of all of them in terms of actual hand-to-hand combat.
I thought you didn't want to be a vigilante.
I never want to feel helpless again.
We'll need to find a way to help out, maybe not quite as a physical fighter, but as sort of contributing to the team using his brain.
Even though Prometheus is, a known foe to Green Arrow.
Green Arrow?
What we really wanted to do this year was have someone who is a dark mirror to Oliver.
Prometheus' origins into things that Oliver did back when he first came back to the island in season 1 and sort of the trickle-down effect of what Oliver was doing as a killer, as a vigilante of all these dark things he did that actually produced this thing out there that now is sort of coming back to seek revenge.
We're going back to Russia. We're actually going to see how Oliver became a member of the Bratva and how he got that tattoo.
First part of initiation. Only person you can trust, yourself, Oliver.
We'll pick up in the premiere where he's in Russia and he's in a bad spot, and the Bratva comes to his aid and sort of starts to show him the ways of, being part of a team, and pledging his allegiance to the Bratva way of life, and what that means in terms of him ultimately becoming the Hood and coming back to Star City. Our show, for all its comic book trappings, is still an emotional journey of Oliver Queen and sort of this guy who went through this traumatic event and how he sort of fixed his life. Can he do the right thing? Can he find a way through this darkness? And the darkness is going to fight back in a big way this year.
In keeping with getting back to our roots, we're going to make Green Arrow even more badass than he already is.